We have all experienced it. It is late, and you are standing before the open fridge with that strange fluorescent light, and you are staring at the cheese drawer. You take out a giant block of sharp cheddar or perhaps a soft round of brie, and an utterly insane idea comes to you. What if I just ate this all now? We should be honest, cheese is the very best comfort food ever. It strikes against each of our cravings. It is salty, it is fatty, it is savory, and it makes you feel good. It is a kind of a food hug. Sprinkling Parmesan on your pasta is nice. Swiss on your sandwich? Perfect. However, what does happen to your body when you cross that line and do it all the way? What descends when an innocent snack becomes a dairy catastrophe? Today, we are examining a bit uncomfortable and quite interesting fact of devouring excessive amounts of cheese. Spoiler alert, your stomach will be in need of a serious vacation. You need to examine what cheese is to understand properly why you feel so disgusting after a cheese binge. It is a pure nutritional heavy load filled to the brim with fats, heavy salts, and complex proteins. As usual, in regular portions, your body is quite excited to receive these nutrients. It burns the fat to supply you with energy and the protein to make you strong. But when you take half a pound of it at a meal, you are no longer feeding your body fuel, but it is a gigantic, massive, heavy construction work. This overloading your stomach with that much extraordinarily rich food would cause your digestive system to purely panic. It must work overtime in order to take it all apart. It is precisely the reason why you will suddenly feel extremely heavy, sluggish, and possibly even a bit nauseous after you have had it. And you are literally drained by the sheer physical effort of digesting all that richness. Hello to the notorious cheese coma. You are not sleepy, you are simply exhausted your internal engine. Next, we must discuss the entire lactose scenario. Lactose is merely the natural sugar that is contained in milk, and this implies that it is found in many of our favorite cheeses. The thing with this is that in order to properly digest this sugar, your body requires a certain enzyme known as lactase. And unfortunately, a large percentage of us aren't very good at digesting that sugar since we simply do not make that enzyme internally. There is the slightest suggestion that your stomach is the least bit lactose intolerant, a huge cheese spurt will result in some severe internal upheaval. Since your body is unable to break it down, the bacteria in your gut begin partying with fermentation. We mean severe bloating and horrible cramps, loud gurgling gas, and possibly even a panicked rush to the bathroom. That was merely the not-so-subtle way of your body pleading with you to have mercy and to beg you to lay off a little. Yet suppose you are so fortunate as not to be troubled by lactose. Your great issue remains a big problem as cheese is entirely devoid of one very crucial ingredient: fiber. Plant fiber is the broom of plants that sweeps the food through your digestive system with a smooth motion and keeps everything flowing on time. Cheese contains no fiber whatsoever. In the absence of that fibrous broom, so much of the fat, thick cheese only retards your digestion to a painful crawl. It simply sits there. You are totally supported. A massive, incredibly prevalent, and truly unpleasant side effect of doing it too much is constipation, which is even more unpleasant when you did not eat any fruits, vegetables, or whole grains in the side to offset it. You're bringing to your stomach a giant traffic jam. And the bloating, the heavy stomach, and the traffic jam, a giant cheese feast will bring a few other instant irritations that can make your evening any worse. Since the fatty foods loosen the muscle at the upper end of your stomach, you may get pummeled by painful heartburn or acid reflux as the dairy milk attempts to re-enter. To make matters worse, you will likely be extremely dehydrated due to the high levels of sodium that are dehydrating your body. Part sodium. How about taking a look at the bigger picture? What would you do with your huge cheese habit? Make it a daily routine. Many cheeses are very rich in salt. To live your body requires a certain amount of salt, but as time passes, high amounts of salt on a regular basis through chronic cheese binging can gradually increase your blood pressure without your even noticing it. It even causes your heart to strain in order to pump blood. There is the amount of saturated fat to consider. Saturated fats are also solid at room temperature, and that is what makes cheese so awesome. But they are also mean to your heart. In case you happen to be a person who has to pay particular attention to the health of your heart, having to consume large amounts of saturated fat on a regular basis may considerably increase the levels of LDL cholesterol in your body. And that is the bad cholesterol you should have under control. The deceptive weight gain factor. Cheese is an immensely addictive combination of fat and salt, which ignores your brain telling you that you are full. It has very high amounts of calories, and since it is very dense, it does not occupy a lot of physical space in your stomach. This does not imply that it is not extremely easy to consume 1,000 calories of cheese without ever feeling full. It is a deceiver. Before you give up on dairy forever and toss your Gouda in the trash, we shall defend it. Cheese is not your foe. In fact, it is loaded with extremely bioavailable calcium, protein, and vital vitamins that your bones and muscles are raving. It is not the food per se that is the bad guy in this case, it is just our current sizes of portions and the frequency with which we eat it. It isn't the end of the world, you just have to eat a couple of biological hacks to get yourself out of the cheese coma. First, never eat your cheese without foods that are high in fiber such as apples, grapes, or whole grain crackers to keep your digestive system moving. Second, make the cheeses stronger and sharper such as a pungent blue cheese, an extra aged cheddar, or real Parmesan so that you get huge flavor yet use a lot less volume. Rule, and last but not least, do not treat it as a mindless grazing snack as you watch TV. Having too much cheese is not an emergency medical situation that can kill a person, but a good painful lesson that moderation is the key. What your gut is saying, listen to yourself, save giant cheese boards to special occasions, and above all, enjoy every single bite.